think that once you step foot in the care center and see all of these folks, you want to do something. It's just a human thing.
There was a definite need in our facilities, people that didn't have families, didn't have anyone to visit. There was just a need for individuals that had very small wants and desires.
I had a resident in my care center who was totally incapacitated in bed, still had her mind, but otherwise could not do anything for herself. Very, very nice younger lady. And every August, she started raising money for the MD Foundation with Jerry Lewis. And she got all excited about the Labor Day weekend and watching that telethon for 72 hours. And it became real apparent that she would love to meet Jerry Lewis. So we rented a large stretcher van, put 3 of our staff members in it, drove her all the way to Las Vegas, contacted Jerry Lewis's group and said, could you meet this lady who's been raising money for the MDA for the last 15 years, and she's incapacitated and doesn't have MD but wants to do something. And so we got her up there, and he did send an envoy out to meet her and say thank you for coming up. Got her back to Phoenix, and this lady was like she'd gone to heaven. So that was the first Live a Dream Award.
Well, we were really fortunate in that Sean Mockbee at Sunshine Village knew that we were trying to get a way to get my husband up to NAU for graduation for our daughter. And so without even saying anything to us, he took the ball and he got everything set up and then came to us and said, would you be interested in working with this organization to get Steve up to graduation? Getting him into a vehicle was taking us up to 20 minutes at that point in time, and then trying to get him up to Flagstaff and out to go to the restroom and do all these things would have been just a very difficult day. So we were provided with the transportation. We were able to wheelchair him into a van and take the whole family together, which was so cool. She was just overwhelmed by the fact that he could be with her that day, that special day. And he was just the proudest dad, and just happy to be there. And he always called her baby, and so they held hands, and daddy and baby. So without Live a Dream, this would have never been possible. And we are so thankful to you and all of your staff for being there for us and making it the greatest day ever.
Daryl's always talking about sports, and we always had a nice little rivalry too, because my team's the San Francisco 49ers, so he'd always give me grief.
Oh no.
So so when the Live a Dream Foundation, I guess when the applications came out, the first person I thought of was Daryl. I knew that he'd love to go to a live football game. He had always talked about it. When we filled out the application, we didn't know. We just kind of crossed our fingers and hoped. But it came in the mail, and then once I got it, I was super excited. So I immediately, told Daryl, said, "Hey, we got it."
Called me to his office. I told him we got it. When we go to the stadium, then first when we went to the stadium, it's like the crowd, like electrical, it was. That's why I said everybody should get a chance, because I don't think it was just me, because it was like the atmosphere. Well, I would like to say thank you very much. It was one of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences of my life. Everybody who has a dream should reach out and see if they can get their dream answered.
Because it's worth it.
Because I did.
And you loved it.
Yes, ma'am.
In healthcare, we know that bad dental health is bad overall health.
A lot of the government systems do not have programs to help our residents with dental need. Often a patient will have to have an extraction. Where our foundation comes in is we help provide that dental care that can help residents eat. It can help them chew. It can help them with nourishment and help them to stay healthier and provide a greater quality of life.
I came into work one day and there was a gentleman that had always greeted me with a bright smile and came in the next day and he had no teeth. And I inquired and found that he had his teeth extracted because he had a few cavities and all they did were extractions. What we were able to do for the first recipient is get him some dentures, which he had a bright smile again. At the heart of what we do in our care centers is done by good staff. And to improve their quality, their understanding, their educational process is something we have to be invested in. And every year it's grown, and we now give out about 35 scholarships a year.
It did make it a lot more possible to actually start school. So I think going into college, it is really just time and money are the biggest concerns. So being able to relieve one of those helps a lot.
My son was born at 35 weeks, and while he was in Phoenix Children's, watching the nurses, I thought, well, I could do that. I'm going to be a nurse. So I went to Mountain View Manor and took their CNA class in 1996, and that's where I started. So now 10 years later, I'm still director of nursing and continue through school, and hopefully NP in about a year and a half.
Everybody at some point in their life needs care. Whether you don't think you need it now, you will at some point in time. And it would be pretty special if you knew that there's going to be good care for you when you get elderly or when you're infirm. And that's probably the most compelling thing for me, and I think for most of the caregivers, is knowing that that could be me one of these days.
The patients depend on us, that they notice when we're gone, and that they become a part of us, and they're a part of our family. People think it makes you hard, but it just makes your heart bigger, and you get to know more people, and a lot of times their families are highly involved, and you'll run into them years later, and they'll say, "You took care of my grandma."
I don't think it is the easiest work in the world. I think it is as hard as people assume it is. But I think the fulfillment that you get out of it makes up for it. So it doesn't make it something that's hard, it makes it something that you love doing.
All of this is possible because of you.
Because of you, all of this was possible, and I'm a very thankful young man. And we wish the best for your foundation. Thank you.
All this is possible because of you.
All of this is possible because of you.
All of this is possible because of you. Don't forget to buy your raffle ticket.
All of this is possible because of you. Thank you.
All of this is because of you.